think they've won their last 5 against Irish opposition, and like a 1-point victory against Ulster, then going to penalty kicks more or less against Munster, and there's a 10-point handicap in this game. Like, the Leinster lads are huge favourites, but I think this is the 14th semi-final that Toulouse have gotten to. They're obviously the reigning European champions. Lots of history, lots of experience. What have they got to do? I think they got to match Leinster's intensity. If they make the same amount of mistakes as they did against Ulster or against Munster, then I think they're going to get beaten by 10 or 15 points. I really do. I think this Leinster side against Leicester, they didn't play particularly well, but it was like they got a few mistakes out of their system, and they'll be ready and raring to go. But don't write off Toulouse. Like, they can just pull a rabbit out of a hat. You know, a game-changing moment, just one end of the pitch to the other. The likes of Ramos, Dupont, Ntamack, Loré, like, just so many good players, individually talented players that can make things happen, and that's what makes them so dangerous. But Leinster will be very, very aware of that, and I fully expect Leinster to win this one, Sean. I really do, and I think they're going to win it by around that 10-point margin. And I think Toulouse, and I'm not going to say that they're lucky to be where they are, but I think there's only so many close shaves you can have. I think Leinster are going to be the better rugby team on Saturday. Like, I'm not sure if you read some of the quotes from Simon Zebo after the game, saying that it was the best atmosphere that he's ever felt at the Aviva Stadium. And he's obviously played there in a green jersey for Ireland at the Aviva Stadium, and he thinks that atmosphere for the quarter final was better than an international, which I don't know what it says really. Maybe the international weekends are, there isn't the same buzz or the same atmosphere, because we all know how club rugby, and probably specifically more Munster rugby, they're travelling fans, the way they get into it and the way they really get behind their side. And like, I think Alan Quinlan put up a picture when they went and beat Harlequins away from home back in 2005, 2006 maybe. I might be wrong with the date. And he took a selfie of him at Twickenham Stoop, and he was up in the stand, and the whole pitch was covered in Munster fans. Like, the whole pitch, there was more Munster fans at the game than there was Harlequins fans, and they got the result, they got the victory. And like, that support is everything. I know I'm talking a little bit more about Munster here, but like, it drove them on massively against Toulouse, and they lost. Obviously, Peter O'Mahony in the last 10 or 15 minutes of that game, ran out a bit of steam. A few bounces of the ball didn't go their way, and credit to Toulouse, they got back into the game. But to come to this weekend with, I know there's a scramble on here. There's some written media saying that there wasn't enough time to get tickets sold for this, 4 or 5 days to try and get 40,000 into the stadium. I think Leinster will be able to do that, and if we will be able to sell tickets at a reasonable price to get bums on seats. And if they can do that, they'll generate a brilliant atmosphere, and one that I think Leinster will relish from. I think it'll add another score onto their game. But Sean, just to reiterate where I'm coming from here, I think if Leinster played this match down in a rugby club in Blackrock, and there was 2 men and their dog standing watching it, I still think Leinster would win the game. But it's just about how many points Leinster are going to win it by, in my opinion, just because of the form that I think both teams have shown over the last season, because Toulouse have been a little bit hit and miss. But 40,000, 50,000, who knows how many's going to turn up. But the weather looks great, brilliant atmosphere, 3 o'clock kickoff. I wish I was going down there myself. From a selfish personal point of view, I want La Rochelle to get to the final. I think there's that unfinished business between Leinster and La Rochelle. La Rochelle beat Leinster, obviously. It was a semi-final, wasn't it, away from home a couple of years ago. And Leinster they didn't turn up that day, and I think they will turn up if they meet them in a final. And it'll be a great match. I think the physical power and dominance of this La Rochelle pack could could unearth a few issues, especially in this Leinster pack. So we'll see what happens. But I think Racing 92, a bit like Toulouse, lots of individual quality. I just feel that La Rochelle are probably a little bit better coached. Again, Ronan O'Gara versus Leo Cullen in a final. That Irish bias that I have, that would be a dream final for me in Marseille. To watch the Heineken Champions Cup final. But I think it's going to be very tight. I think it's going to be really tight. I wouldn't be surprised if Racing 92 got the win, but I just feel that the power that this La Rochelle team have, Ronan O'Gara has been there and done it as a player and as a coach, and I just think that they'll have a few too many big bodies in there to turn this Racing 92 side over. So for me, yeah, Ronan O'Gara versus Leinster in the final.